So let's start with just going through. I want to start with the three whys that I do. So they come out of getting clarity. And some of this may go fast because you may have thought about it all. So let's get clarity about what is that underlying purpose that motivates your life and your business. What is it you think you're on the planet to actually accomplish?
I've been through all the ups and downs kind of stuff and ups. And I have learned some things about, I know what it's like to have a dream, and I also know what it's like to have that dream collapse and fail. If I can prevent other people from going through that, or, I can help people not have to go through that or as much of that as I did, then that's a good thing. I love like meeting new people, finding out what's going on, what's working, what's not working, finding, various things that I can help them do better. I could probably help people do 30 or 40 or 50 things do better, but typically I help them with, 4 or 5 or 6, and they're so blossomed in what they're doing, they couldn't handle the other, 25 or 30 or 40 things I could do with them. Like marketing. I am a troubleshooter. I used to troubleshoot electronics, and, I look at what people are doing and I know they just don't get what I got.
So let's focus back on the purpose. One of the things you said is you like transforming lives. How specifically? Because transformation to me is going from point A to point B, and point B is higher than point A. So what's the transformation?
Yeah, it's typically a quantum jump too. It's not like sometimes it's incremental. I mean, I can look at somebody, what they're doing, and basically figure out why they're making either they're not making money, or why they're not making more money. I can find their sticking points. I can see their blind spots. And then when we unstick, when you remove the obstacles, everything flows. A variety of ways that everything is a process, and every process has the ability to be clogged, and every process also has the ability to be widened in bandwidth. If we can identify the weak links and transform the weak links into strengths and bolster it, you create a lot more bandwidth on your cash flow.
So along the way to eliminating their sticking points, their blind spots, because they're not making the money they want, I'm curious, what's underneath not making the money? Like, is there a specific impact that you want to make that is other than making money, or is it always just about making money? Because my sense about you is that you're doing a specific kind of empowerment that's very unique to you. Okay. What do you think that's about? But I think you have an amazing genius that very few people have what you have.
Yeah, I think the biggest gap is most people are not aware of that genius. And my nature is not to jump on top of the mountain and say I'm a genius. That's kind of a challenge for me, is I can't. So I try and, just through the fruits of my labor, that's the best, having client successes is to me the best way of saying I'm a genius, is through vicariously through the successes of my clients.
Is the purpose of your being on earth to unclog people, let's say, so that they can make more money and cash flow? Or is it something underneath that, and that's the result of what you do?
I believe we all have gifts. My clients, my prospects, my non-buyers, the people don't even know about me, they all have gifts. And one of my gifts is helping them share their gifts with people that will actually pay them. When I help people get unclogged, I help them share their gifts. The world's a better place, and they prosper more, and it just makes them be a better provider, and it makes them be, I guess I love doing what I'm doing, and I wish I could help more people. And, when the student's ready, the teacher appears, I'm ready. I'm ready to jump in and ask questions. I have a genuine curiosity for, solving problems and rolling up the sleeves and let's do it,
Let's list out some specific ways that the client is changed when you work with them.
Yeah. Okay. They think different about marketing. They may have had one or two or three or four distinctions about marketing, but by the time they're through with me, they're going to like have a 3D vision of marketing. They're going to see the world of marketing in a much higher dimension.
Let's stay on that just for a moment. They're going to see marketing in a much higher dimension. Can you decode that? What is that dimension?
Yeah, I think, a lot of people think, well, if I'm going to market my business, I just need to jump on social media and do posts organically and hope that my business grows. I'm not going to go to networking meetings. I have gotten this online marketing thing that they could just sit in front of their computer and never have to go out into the world and never talk to a human being and think that they're going to grow a business. A lot of people think the purpose of a business is to make money. It's not. It's to create a customer and serve them. Okay. And then when you serve them, you get paid, right? Like everything you've learned about business is a big fat lie. And I've spent years and years and years committed on a, relentless commitment to the truth about reality, about what works in marketing. It's been an obsessive compulsive quest for the truth of what works. Because of that, I got a ton of distinctions. People say things and the stuff that I hear in the world is like, no wonder people are struggling in business, because their beliefs are completely not wired right. So when I have conversations with my client, I catch them in the things that they're saying that are disempowering, and then we say, stop, let's have a conversation about what you're saying and come up with a more empowering way to say that. Like if you think that the purpose of a business is to make money, all you're going to do is be walking through the world looking like you got money in your eyes. People don't care about that. They want somebody that actually cares about them. Value is making somebody's life better. One of the things that people walk away with is they understand how to give more value so they get paid more. And they actually understand the true meaning of the word, the concept, the actions of value. When you become more valuable, you are transformed. When you understand what value is.
So if you step back and you look at the value you deliver to your clients, how would you define that value if you said, this is it?
I help people bring more spirituality to their business transactions. I think
if you're going to say that and not use the word spiritual, how would you define what the spiritual part was?
I teach people to profit by doing the right thing. I teach people to profit. I teach them to do things more effectively. I teach them to have a more empowering philosophy. I teach them to do things from a more strategic Pentagon kind of way. And I also teach them tactically like a Navy SEAL kind of way. But I teach them to balance those two. I teach them to come from a place of true service so that when they lay their head on the bed at night, that they actually have a piece of peaceful sleeping, knowing that they themselves are improving people's lives. And I help them confront their self-sabotaging behaviors and confront them and come up with ways to overcome them.
Because I think the key phrase in all this is you help people profit by doing the right thing. That was the deepest comment that you made. And so my question is, why is it important for people to profit by doing the right thing?
The world's a better place. I mean, it's win-win. When you're doing the right thing and you're profiting the right way, then you're having a ripple effect. You become a better provider for your family, your customers, your clients have improvements in their lives. Every time you help a client and a vendor, every time you do things the right way, you ripple good things to your vendors and suppliers, your stakeholders. It really affects everybody. It actually affects the global economy. Whenever I help an individual prosper, I actually am putting that part of the world on an upswing. There's a huge ripple effect to what I do. If I help you improve your gross product, I basically help the entire country improve the gross national product.
And why is that important?
Well, I don't know what it is. I mean, I help individuals. There is a collective effect, but I think...
Well, let's assume that it's important. You said it. I think it's important. I'm not questioning its importance. I'm asking, why is that important?
I think that we were born into this world to love God, love each other. We have three choices. We can leave the world better than we found it. We can leave it worse, or we can leave it exactly the same. And so if we collectively, everybody makes the world a little bit better, an impact of a better world. And that's, I mean, it could be considered some like a legacy thing. If I die and if I've helped, thousands of people, hundreds of people, even one person, but if I've helped, a significant number of people live a better life and impact the world, that's their legacy. And collectively, that's a pretty good legacy that I could feel good about myself.
So why is it important to have a legacy where you feel good about yourself?
Why is it important?
I'm not questioning its importance. I'm asking why it's
I don't
important.
know. I guess it's one of the things that makes me feel good. I don't know.
I think it's a little deeper than that. I have a feeling there's another answer, because I think it relates to your being on the planet and having significance by what you do with your life.
Part of my legacy, part of the thing that I'm here to do is to help other people live their legacy too. It's not just about, it's never about the money. I think that we need to master the money game, and it's never about the money.
What is it about?
It's about making it's making our lives and other people's lives better. To me, at some level, money is an expression of gratitude. When people pay me big money, that's really, they're saying, I really appreciate you a lot.
Because I think you're making statements about meaning. It's profiting by doing the right thing, and then it's making our lives and making other lives better. So somebody comes to you, they're, at least on the surface, coming to you because they want marketing to make more money, right? That's probably
Right.
the reason.
Yeah, they want a business that works.
But underneath that, so I'll give you what I, characterize as my purpose, and then we can look at yours and then look at the 3 whys. So I believe my purpose is to uplift humanity and support the evolution of human consciousness. So that impacts everything I do. Doubt why the universe, God, however you want to phrase it, inspired Conscious Millionaire in my mind, right? I didn't sit around and doodle to get it. I got it in the freaking hot tub because I saw the word conscious and I went, oh my God, tingling spine. This is what I've been looking for about 3 years now. Let's take what you have, which I think it's somewhere between profiting by doing the right thing and making other lives better. You're here to uplift people to a place that they have not touched on their own.
Probably not I would say it's very non-traditional to ways other people uplift people. It's, I uplift people in a unique way. It's by finding their own gifts and their own inspiration within. A lot of my work is about, I mean, there's a big piece of it where I help people have structure. But early in the whole employee escape plan thing, and this has been the most exciting part, I think, or just when you can see people come to me and they don't know what they want to do for a business, and then I work with them, and then it's like this light bulb goes off, and it's like, oh, this is it. This is what I want to do. And they get that spark of inspiration. And ask the question again.
It's between profit by doing the right thing and making other lives better, but it's making it better by uplifting them. So how is it that you're uplifting them? How does that all come about for you?
I'm not externally uplifting them. I'm actually helping them find their own inspiration so they can actually uplift themselves. Once we find that, then through my processes, through the structures, then my job is to help them organize that and structure that to maximize leverage and maximize their impact. I mean, inspiration is the first piece, and then, the nature of the work that I'm doing now, that's kind of where I'm at. It's like helping people figure out what they want to do and find that spark of information so they know it internally, and now they're passionate about it. And now it's like, how do we organize this in a way that you can impact people and profit from it and create a life of freedom? And to me, there is something about being self-reliant versus employer-reliant. I'm kind of anti being employer reliant. I take a stand against corporate slavery. You're not building your dream, you're building someone else's dream. I think that's a core of my why. Everybody's running to go get a job so they can go build someone else's dream. They've gone to school, they've highly educated themselves, and now instead of using that to really make a powerful life for their dreams, what they've done is sold out their dream for a salary. The salary is the price you pay for building someone else's dream and abandoning yours.
So if we were going to build your business model for 2019, there are three whys that are part of that model. One of them is why you're going to make this specific impact. And what we're looking for there is, what is that one impact that you're going to measure everything you do? You're going to measure, I create these products, I have these coaching programs, I do these trainings, I do this webinar, but they're all measured against this specific impact that you want to drive toward with all of your clients, that there's this one specific impact. What would that be? And why would you choose that over all others?
What comes to mind is this idea of we all have talents and you can turn those into treasure. One of the impacts I have is I teach people to be more resourceful at their income generation. When people work with me and they leave one of my sessions, I think that we've opened up channels in their brain. We've opened up new possibilities. We've opened up new possibilities. We've opened up fixing what's broken. And I start also asking, how can we take what's working and doing it at a much more leveraged, more effective way? A prospect before this call. And well, hey, I'm going to network meetings, but I also got this real estate job you got the real estate job and I got my business. We're a startup. We got one customer. He says, if I had more time, I'd go to more networking events. I said, so let me ask you, leverage point. Would you rather go to a networking event and network with people, or would you rather go to a networking event and be the featured speaker? One has more leverage. Opens up new gateways in the brain. Now you're the featured speaker. Would you rather go to a networking event and be the featured speaker with an ordinary presentation, or would you rather be the featured speaker and have a kick-ass PowerPoint that gives a ton of value and has them wanting more? And so you start to realize that what you're doing has a certain amount of impact, but by saying, okay, well, if I can get on stage in front of the networking and have a kick-ass presentation, everything changes. There's a lot more leverage in doing things a different way. This guy said, well, what I'm looking for is a sales force. And then I looked at his website and it pretty much wasn't that good. And I said, well, do you have any systems in place for the salespeople to succeed? And it was like, no. Well, maybe there's some other things that you need to do now that'll put money in your cash register now so that you can put the systems in place so that if you do recruit salespeople, you can either bring in salespeople and they're on their own, or you can bring in salespeople and give them the tools so they have a chance to succeed. What has more leverage? And maybe focus, you got one customer and now you want to get other people to go to, networking events on your behalf. You better put some stuff in place for them to succeed. Otherwise, they're just going to leave. They'll go do something that works and pays them real money.
When you work with people, what's the impact you're going to be known for at the end of the first quarter that you go this is what I'm doing?
Holy crap, I hired Joe and my world's changed. My business is better. I'm making more money. I'm swamped.
What is the number one thing you're getting out of the empowerment audio when you listen to it? What do you get? What was most valuable today?
I think digging down into the values and into the whys and stuff like that. I think it was good to verbalize my message in a different way. I think there's a gap between who I am and what I'm about and the way I'm communicating that to others. By you drilling down in those questions, it made me kind of express some things that may be internally represented but not externally communicated.